Cam, do you have to, like, as one of the team leaders, kind of stop and remind a lot of the younger guys that, hey, we lost a couple of games, but all of our goals are still right there in front of us?
I don't have to verbally say it, but I like to, let my play show urgency, and I think we got to start having that. I think you can get lulled to sleep into thinking, it's only been 2 losses, but I'm one of those people that I like to hit things running, and we really got to pick up the tempo.
Brian Patko, Post-Gazette.
Hey, Cam, on the flip side of Dale's question, when you guys were 11-0, rolling right along, last unbeaten league team in the league, I mean, do you think guys maybe got too high on the highs, or were maybe riding a little bit too high on just feeling like you couldn't lose at that point?
I don't really play into that. If that was the case, we would have got beat a long time ago. I think we gotta, understand where we fell short. We're coming off of two big losses, and how do we respond? And I think we got to get back to what made us good in the first place, what we did well, converting on third downs and getting off the field on third downs, and our pressure and our sacks and our turnovers as a defense, and our offense putting up points. Those are the things we got to get back to. And if we can get back to that, we can be successful on Monday.
Brooke Pryor, ESPN.
Yeah, Kim, when we talked to Ben earlier today, he mentioned physicality and said that it kind of bothers him that physicality is just something that's directed at the line, or a lack of physicality is something that's fingers are pointed at the line. In your mind, what does it mean to have a physical team and to play with physicality? And is it especially frustrating or motivating to hear that people are saying the Steelers aren't physical when that's something the franchise has really been built on?
I think it just comes down to, inflicting your will on your opponent. These past 2 games, we haven't been in a situation where we've been able to, wear teams down on both sides of the ball. Even the Washington game, it came down to a couple of last possessions, but, we didn't really get a chance to physically impose our will. And in this past game, they were able to run the ball, sustain drives on our defense, and then on the flip side, we were able to sustain anything up front on offense. So I think it's a collective thing. I don't think we can just say it's a line thing, but we got to get better in all facets of our game. To say that our offensive line and D-line have done the jobs, we can say no, because if we had, we would have won those games.
Will Graves, Associated Press.
Cam, that being said, how do you Mike T talks about watching tape, and that's an element, and reminding you guys, hey, you got to be more physical up front. But I mean, how do you're not practicing like you were in August. So how do you replicate the urgency in practice to make sure that it translates to the field on Sundays?
Understand the reps we get, and take advantage of those reps. I think we have to be more cognizant of that, and we have to, attack those reps. If our individual is cut short, make sure your individual is 100 miles per hour. If our plays are cut short, make sure the plays you have are, balls to the wall 100%. We have to take advantage of those moments because we're not getting them back. And it's up to us to do that. We can sit here and say it's a coaching thing or, a scheme thing, but, it's up to us to execute at a high level.
Mark Cavalli, The Athletic.
Hey, Cam, you were talking about lulls earlier. I remember 2016, you guys lost 4 in a row, but were able to get back on track and make it to the AFC Championship. But the difference there is you had time to get back on track. Saying that, how important are these next 3 games to get on track, because you don't want to go into the the playoffs as a team that's looking to gain something?
I think we got to pump the brakes on the playoffs, man. We got to take care of our business one game at a time. I think too much we've talked about, we need to do this to go to the playoffs. We need to do that. Man, we just need to win a game. And, we'll focus on this game and focus on the next one after that. We got to quit getting in this rhythm of it's setting up this or setting up that. We just got to get back to playing our football, understand what we need to do, and do it 110%.
Joe Rutter, Trim.
Yeah, Cam, 2 things. When you said about imposing the will, would Buffalo running off the final 7+ minutes be an example of that? And then how do you think the communication was with Avery wearing the green dot?
Man, I think it's just going to keep improving. I thought they did an adequate job. I thought they did things, for Avery, he has a little bit more experience at calling plays. Marcus had to adjust a little bit, but between both of them, I thought they did an excellent job. And to deal with the fires coming in during the middle of a game, you got to be willing to, not only take coaching criticism, but you got to take player criticism as well when you're in that position. And I thought they handled it really well. Could it be better? Yes, but they're going to get that with time. And then, what was the other part of his question? But
about the Bills able to run off the last.
Yeah. I definitely see that as they impose their will. I see it as we needed to get off and we didn't. They did it in a myriad of things of running the ball and then throwing the ball. And I think they picked up that, pass interference on that long third down and put them closer down. So, when you look at those plays, those are critical plays. We got to get off the field. No matter what has transpired before in the game, you got to make sure you keep providing those opportunities for your offense. And we didn't do that.
James, Mike Tomlin made it sound like you guys would be putting the pads on in practice this week. What do you think the reaction would be to that? And when's the last time you guys did that? And what can you get out of it?
We actually wore pads last week. I think we could get nothing but positive out of it, to be honest with you. Like I said, we need to start faster on offense and like Ben, everyone else is saying, which is right. We just got to be more physical up front and everybody's got to be physical across the board.
Brian Backo?
Hey, James. Ben was telling us that at the end of that first half Sunday night, he had a good talk with Deontay. How often has Ben had chats like that with you? And is that intimidating when that happens? Is it a good thing that he seeks you out? Just what's that like kind of going one-on-one with Ben in that way?
It's definitely a good thing just because of who he is, to our team. It kind of just lifts your spirits and lets you know that he's still thinking about you and he still wants you in there to be a guy that he's throwing to.
Yeah, James, you mentioned not getting dominated by the guy across from you. Have you noticed opposing defenses and defensive backs starting to jam you guys more at the line of scrimmage? And what is the best way to defeat that?
Best way to defeat that, you just got to, check their feet, check their stance, pre-snap. Just know their body demeanor and just take what they give you, basically, and just be strong at the line of scrimmage.
Noah Strackbean?
Hey, James, when it comes to starting fast, with you guys being in a rut, does that have to change schematically or is that just all on the players?
It's everyone. We're a team. That's coaches involved too. We just have to, just stick together and just do what we've been doing to get us to where we've got to at this point that we're at now.
Juju, I know to the victor goes the spoils, and the winner usually gets to say whatever they like. But there was a lot of talk coming out of Buffalo about you dancing on their logo before the game. Do you think that had any factor at all in that game, or played any role in that game? And is that something that maybe you look to maybe not do as much of moving forward?
One thing I'll tell you guys, I'm not going to stop being myself. I'm going to be, the JuJu I've came in to be authentic. To Talk is a new platform that I've used to touch my fans and grow. This is something I've been doing since, the start of the season, mid-season. I even did it on a Cowboys logo. So it's like, it's not just their logo, but the Steelers logo, and I plan to just keep doing it. I'm just having fun doing myself. At the end of the day, as long as we go out there and play, and that's how it was. Yes, we lost. They had a few words to say, and it is what it is. So yeah, I'm not going to stop doing it.
Brooke Pryor?
Yeah, Juju, along those same lines, I didn't think that I saw you do a touchdown celebration when you scored in Buffalo. Was that something that you thought not the time to do it? I know you still want to keep being yourself, but are you having to kind of pick and choose when you're showing how much fun you're having on the field in celebration?
Yeah, I mean, in that situation, I danced on the logo before the game. I'm having fun, having a great time, and you're in a situation where we're playing in a game, and we're down. All I can think about is score, get the ball back, and try to score again. And, try to win the game. Not so much of like oh, let me just go ahead and dance. I mean, when you're down like that, why dance? So at that point, I'm just thinking about, hey, score, try to get the ball back, score again.
Mark Cavoli?
Hey, Juju, you guys are already in the playoffs. However, obviously lost a couple in a row here. Not too many teams go into the playoffs losing, 2 in a row, 4 out of 5 or whatnot. What I'm asking is, I guess, how important are these last 3 games to get to where you were to have a chance to make a run through the playoffs?
Yeah, like you said, yeah, we made the playoffs, but the job's not done yet. I think we still have to play our game against Cincy to be able to put on the hat and shirts, to say that we own the AFC North. And then after that, you're playing against another AFC division team, which is the Colts, which is a really, really good team. So, we can't take a lot on them, and obviously finish off the season with the Browns. And like I said, if we're trying to do one thing, we just have to win out and, try to play the seeds out. So, yeah.
Brian Becko.
Juju, there's a lot of talk about how this offense needs to be more physical. I mean, when you have the ball in your hands, I feel like you're playing as physical as I've ever seen you. I mean, how can you be physical as an offense and not just meaning to run the ball better? I mean, how can you do that in other areas too if you guys want to continue throwing the ball?
I mean, honestly, like I said, you talk about running the ball, being physical. I think, ball in your hand, ball not in your hand, physical blocking, downfield, by wide receivers, by running backs, blocking for the quarterback, physical runs when you catch the ball and you're running. That's always been in my game plan. It's always been in my gameplay. And before the game started, Ben said, hey, you got to be physical. You got to lead this group. And, for me, I can tell people, I can tell, my receivers, let's be physical. But at the end of the day, I got to show them that, if I can go out there and be physical, you can go out there too. So that's definitely something that, we have to do, going into the game and, starting off fast and starting off early, being physical in early games.